Hello, my name is Serena, and I'll be presenting my volunteer coordination platform today. I am a senior at Lewis and Clark High School. I like volunteering, badminton, music, and coding. Next year, I plan to major in computer science. This app took me about a month to code like the basic features, and I've been continuously updating and adding new features to it ever since. So I am an officer of my high school's Key Club, which is a student-led organization that provides volunteering opportunities for students to make a positive impact on their community through volunteering. But our problem is that we had an inefficient event display and sign-up system. Basically, in the past, at each club meeting, we would have multiple, we'd have upcoming events you could sign up for, and you'd put your name down on a sheet of paper just to sign up. But our meetings were always held in really crowded classrooms. There's over like 70 members crowded together. And you can imagine how much of a hassle that would be to jostle your way just to a single paper just to sign up for a volunteering event. We sometimes would use the Remind messaging to communicate with members, but it made Remind was a little confusing because it had multiple channels, which made event announcements really disorganized and even harder to sign up. So my solution was to create a mobile volunteer event coordination application, which members could access anywhere they were on their phones. Basically, this puts event information and sign up for volunteer events all in one place. And it can also be used by all kinds of volunteer organizations and clubs if needed. Additionally, volunteers and whoever signs up for an account can keep track of their volunteer hours and community service events that they've done in the past. The main features for users are, first of all, they can log in and sign up for a personal account. They can view all events, all upcoming volunteer events, and specific details of those events. They can invite other members to join events. They can keep track of their own events and volunteer hours. There is also an administrative role where admins can add new volunteer opportunities and also edit and delete events. This is like a big overview. This is the kind of map I used to like first map out like the idea for my app. So basically, up here at the top, you have at the top left, you have the splash screen, then it goes to the login page, then it goes to the home page. And right now there's a lot more, like now that I've added more features, there's a lot more parts to it, but this was just the basic idea. You've got a home page where you can view all the events. There's profile page where a user can view their own personal information. And then also for admin, there's the add and edit event pages, and there's also the invite pages. Development tools, I used Flutter, a UI software development kit to code this. Flutter made it so I could release the app onto the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. And I used the Dart programming language and a CMDB class for data communication using Firebase as the backend. This is the login and sign up page for my app. You can see all's needed for login is username and password. And if they don't have an account, they can easily create one just like that. All they need is their name, grade, phone number, and then they can create their own username and password. Once users sign up for an account, they're brought to the home page immediately where they can see all upcoming events and then also their own events if they sign up for any. You can see here also on the bottom, there's a navigation bar where you can go home, which is where the events will be, invites, look at your profile. And for add event, this is only for users with add. So in my Key Club, for my Key Club, we have officers. And so only only Key Club officers can manage these has the add event tab. So in other cases, not just for clubs, like for example, for larger organizations, volunteering organizations, the main managers, like the volunteer coordinator would be the one who could add events. add and edit events. Once you click on one of the events, going back here, you click on them to access. You can view all the event details. There's the name of the event, the date, the time, location set, and also any needed details. And for some events, you might need an external sign up link. Like you don't just sign up on the app. You also need to sign up on external website. And this on the details page, you can immediately access that by just clicking the website sign up link. Also, an additional feature with these events is that there is an event officer. So in case volunteers don't know where to go, they can see the event officer on the details page and look at their contact info and like call or text them to figure out where to meet up. Another cool feature for the on the details page is that you can see the other volunteers that are also signed up. So you can see here there's 3 other volunteers, and you can also see how many spaces there are left in case you want to invite a friend to come join you. These are the invite pages. So say you do want to invite your friend, but they can't, maybe there's too many events and they're not on their phone right now, so they can't immediately go and sign up. You want to make sure they know to sign up for it. You can invite them with the invite friend, and it shows up on their bottom, and a little notification will show up on their bottom invite page, and they can choose to ignore or accept it. And they can also say they've been invited by multiple people. They can view who invited them. Another really important feature that I added to this was the ability to track event hours and past events. So on the profile page, you can view both important profile information like your username, the name you put in, grade, and also your phone number. And also you can change your password. And you also have the statistics, which is like how many hours you've volunteered and how many events you've attended. And you can click on that to access all your past events. That way, say if you need to write out your volunteer hours to get a certain, some clubs like NHS, you need a certain number of hours if you want to like get a letter or something like that. Or if you just want to be able to show think back to what events you've attended, you can easily access them in the past events page. The administrative features, I mentioned these before, but basically admins can add new volunteering events, edit event details, and also add or remove volunteers from events, and also view organization volunteer information. So here is the edit and management for events. They can create new events, and then also there's a little edit button that shows up for them on the main page, where they can go and edit the information, say the times changed or they've added detail, or like they can increase the volunteer limit. They can do that easily. And with volunteer management, so admin have the ability to add and remove volunteers. So this is in the case that say they go to an event and not all the volunteers who signed up, then they can remove those who didn't show up. That way the tracking hours will still work out. And say someone shows up that forgot to sign up on the app, they can easily just add them from here. There is also management, volunteer management page, where they can view the hours, the needed contact information for all the members in the organization, which is here on the right. And now I'll do a code demo to show just more of the specifics of my app. Let me share that part of it first. Okay, so here is the app, and I'll just go ahead and sign into one of my own accounts. So here immediately you can already see that there is an event coming up tomorrow. And so like I mentioned before, you can see all volunteers, and you can see the event officer and get their contact information if you need to call them.
I'm gonna need to clip that into.
Sorry. Oh, okay. And so because I am an event officer, I can go ahead and manage my volunteers and say, one of the people, say Jason Bourne, said they can't make it anymore. I can just remove them from here and confirm and delete the user from event. And then say another person messaged me and said that they can come. I can go ahead and add them really easily. And here is the statistics page. I can see my event hours and how many events I've attended and how with the past, and it shows all the hours I did. And I can even click in and view the past details, like who else went to that event. Another thing I mentioned that the admin can do is the management. So I can view all of their all the members in the club, or at least everyone who signed up for an account, and click on their information and also see their events in case they can't access their they can't access their app at the time. Here's the add volunteering event. I can just go ahead and click in and just put in a random, just put in an event. And one thing really handy is that I've put in a calendar. So you just select the date you need for the event and also the time needed. And let me just fill this in real quick. Volunteer limit and the events, once it's created, it immediately shows up on the home page. For there's also the event, invite friends feature I mentioned. So I'll go ahead in here and I'll invite this person to the event, and I'll sign into theirs. And you can see here on the bottom that they have the invite notification already shown up, and it shows that I invited them. And you can go ahead and join the event to accept, and there's no more invites. So that is the app part of it. I have the code over here. I'd say some of the most important, this is one important class. This is the CMDB class I have. And this one is important for connecting my app to the backend, where I have all the information stored for events, user information, and all that. There's also on the homepage, there's multiple features, such as, let me find it. Well, one thing I have is the collapsed value, is the collapsed boxes. So say you have a lot of events going on and you don't want to have to see it all the time, you can easily collapse these boxes just to see like your own events. You don't care about the upcoming events. And here's the code right here for that. Additionally, on the homepage, I've put in code for automatically moving events, automatically archiving events after the date has passed. So say, say like an event passed, but it still shows up on the upcoming events. You don't want that to happen. So I have code here that will move the event into your past, double archive it essentially, and then it'll then show up on your past event page right here. Additionally, there is code for such as the invites page. The most important one is like the code for like ignoring what happens when you ignore an invite, and also for when you want to just see all the invites you have. And what else? Here's the add event code. This one required text editing controllers for this. So you had to constantly be checking what was, because when you add an event, I had to constantly check what was in the boxes to be able to assign that to the information for that event. And yeah, that is for the demo. Going back to my PowerPoint. Some challenges I had in general with coding this app was first off determining the logistics of the app features. Like when I first created the app, I struggled with like, what exactly do I want this? Do I want this to do? Basically, I wanted it to have a central place for all the events to be seen. And eventually I added on the extra features such as the event officers and the tracking hours and being able to manage volunteers. A second challenge was designing the user interface, because in order to make this app want to be like, in order for people to want to use it, it has to be easily usable. And so making sure everything looked nice and everything was easy to figure out where everything was, that took a lot of time. And I'm still like trying to improve it today. And also the last challenge I had was connecting the app to the backend database. This one required a lot of logistics, because every time, say, an event was added or an event was deleted, I'd have to make sure it was also deleted from all the other from all the other volunteers, like other volunteers who had signed up for the event. Make sure that was deleted so it didn't accidentally show up because the event didn't exist anymore. Future development. I'm still adding more features. I plan to add a wait list for event signup. So say an event is full, but a volunteer wants to sign up still, they can go on a wait list. And then later, if that spot opens up, they can get a notification that they can sign up now. I also want to add more administrative management features and improve the user friendliness and the general user interface of my app in order to make it more usable for a greater number of organizations and clubs. I also want to streamline event archiving, because right now it's a little slow and sometimes has glitches in it still. And finally, I want to expand it to be able to be used by larger volunteering clubs and organizations. For contact information, you can email me if you want to find out more at serenawen@gmail.com. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. So thanks, Serena. And like oh, so is anyone? Oh, I think Albert has a question for you. So could you just turn on your mic?
So I really like your presentation, and I have a question. Does this only work for your school?
Right now, the app is only for my key club, but it can be easily like duplicated.
So if I download the thing and like for high school, you know, like for community service hours, I can go there to get community service hours, right?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, right now it's only for my high school club.
Oh, okay.
But if you I'm planning to like try to make it so it's easily like multiple organizations can use that app, like not just my key club, so that so other people can use it too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So is anyone else has questions? All right, so I have questions. Serena's like might ask like which platform did you publish this app on?
Right now it's on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Okay, that's good. So I think Andrew has a question. So Andrew, could you turn on your mic there, ask Serena?
Oh, I see it in the chat.
Okay.
For the UI design, Flutter, when I first got the app structure and stuff like that, it had like a basic structure, And so I also had to search up a lot online. Like there's a lot of what's it called again? I forgot but there was a lot online like for Dart and how to code like certain features into Flutter. Like, oh, if you need a navigation bar, like it had that, you can easily copy paste that code to get the UI design. A lot of it I had to search up like, oh, how to do these collapsible boxes, or like how to get like a icon button, or like any of that kind of thing. Most of it was, I searched it up and was able to like find code to just copy paste it, and then I adjusted it however I needed for my own app. Computer platforms, what do you mean by like other computer platforms? I would say I guess there was a lot of, because Flutter, Google has a lot of like YouTube videos that I watched for that. And I'd say, and there was like the website they have that has all the explanation for how the code works and like different features. But that's basically it, yeah. There were some for the database. I think I found stuff from online to get basic link, like for like how to basically link it. I don't remember where I got it from. It was a while back, but I'm sure you can easily like find ways to connect online. Oh, and my app is called, wait, let me go back to them. I call it like the volunteer coordination platform, but this app currently, it's just on the App Store, it's LC Key Club, because it's currently being used by my high school's Key Club.
So there's anyone has questions? Oh, one more thing, like I think Winno, like she asking what is apps called. So is this one's calling volunteer coordination platform?
Not on the App Store. On the App Store right now, it's just called LC Key Club. But the general like name I've been calling it just like a volunteer coordination platform.
Okay, so like how many downloads are there for this apps now?
I'd say right now probably about 80, because it's mostly club members. Yeah.
All right. So one more last thing, Slow. Could you just I think Albert has interesting in that apps. So you can share the link in the chat room, and after that we will end this conference.
What does that mean? A link for Windows?
I think he's trying to like download this apps.
Okay. Let me find it on the. Oh, I guess I'll answer that question. Yeah, it's been used a lot by my club this year. We've only used the app to do events now, to like manage volunteering events and stuff like that. So, and I've gotten lots of feedback for like it's really easy to use and much easier than the original system we had for just paper sign up. I started this in like mid-August, I'd say, and I've been working on it ever since. Sorry. Oh, I got the link. Okay. I just sent the link for the App Store version of the app in the chat.
All right. So Serena just share her apps link. So if anyone needs it, just copy the link and download it. So I think that's all for today. And thanks for everyone's participation. So yeah, I think I'll just end this conference. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.